Hi guys! Today we're going to have a discussion about sex in young adult books. Oh my god. I've been recently reading a lot about how we are constantly being influenced by the media and all the things we are exposed to, all of the commercials, the TV, the movies, magazines. All of these things telling us how we should look physically, how we should think, what we should buy, and it's just bullshit. Impossible beauty standards, and what worries me the most is how they can influence how we treat other people and how we should act. And one of the things that can be a big influence on us, it's the books we read. And I was just thinking about Twilight. Breaking Dawn, actually. When Edward is talking to Bella and he's like, I've done everything wrong and I want to do this one thing right. I want for us to be abstinent until we get married, you know? That, if you've read it, you remember. You've seen the movies, you remember. Bullshit! And I think of myself 5 years ago when I was an easily impressed and influenced child and I read this book and I bought this kind of stuff. And I think of other teens like myself that can read this and are taking this as a good example or as role models. Because there is absolutely nothing wrong with you choosing to be abstinent until you marry, but there is also absolutely nothing wrong with you choosing not to be abstinent until you get married. And I was also talking with a couple of people and discussing about new adult books and how usually people make the assumption that the difference between new adult and young adult is sex, which is a misconception I've also made myself, and I can't help but be surprised by how these people were like, it's that they have like sex in them, oh my god. Like, sex is some kind of dirty thing that we shouldn't be talking, speaking, much less reading about. Sex is a natural and very important aspect of our lives. Yeah, but that does not mean that our teens should be reading that. I mean, they're teens. Exactly, they are teens, they are growing up, girls are getting boobs, the guys are realizing that their penis has a mind of its own. They are growing up, and part of growing up, it's learning about your sexuality. What we do now, it's just keeping teens and new adults in the dark. And studies show that the less you know, the more you are inclined to making mistakes, to getting a not wanted pregnancy, whatever you call it. Getting STDs, not being aware of the things you can get by having unprotected sex. The more you know, the more information you are receiving, it's power for you to make the right decision. But I don't want teens to be reading about porn. It's not porn. And erotic sex has its own section. You can go pick up your copy of 50 Shades of Grey or any other book that you like, and you're also no less because you want to read it, you know? That's another thing that sometimes bothers me, because there's nothing wrong with wanting to read erotic books, paranormal books, or YA books all at the same time. But that's a whole other discussion entirely. The thing is that the sex shown in erotic novels and the sex shown in new adult or young adult books, it's completely different. Sex in YA novels, and just in novels in general, it's not usually meant to arouse. It's just meant to show the romance, thus a beautiful scene, or to show it as the awkward thing it can most definitely be. Because that's another thing, we are usually shown all of these impossible standards, like how sex is this freaking perfect thing that's like, you only have one chance in your life to lose your virginity and you have to do it right. And that's also a completely horrible term. What the fuck is losing your virginity? You're not losing anything, you're just becoming a sexually active person. It's usually shown as something that can make us feel unworthy, like we did something wrong. On the contrary, it's either something that, you know, no big deal because you're no different, or something that makes you feel empowered. You are now taking control of your sexuality. It's your choices, your life, your choices. You have every right to have sex with anyone you want at any given time, and to choose not to have it until you're married, until you're 20, until you're 40. It's your choice. And anyone that's trying to manipulate you or telling you it's wrong or whatever, you can just tell them to go fuck themselves. Fuck them all. No, don't do that. Just douchebags. So should all YA books talk about sex or have sex scenes in them? No need, because books are usually the story of people and not all people think alike, so not all people are inclined to have sex while they're teens. But there also shouldn't be anything wrong with books that show talk about sex or manage it as a normal part of life, as explicit as the scene is, or if it's just something that they mentioned in a, like, 2 lines, like in this book. There it is. Because there's nothing wrong with it. And that's what I think it's important to know and, you know, take into consideration. It's not wrong to want to show our teens what, you know, it's part of their life, actually what will be part of their life, or what already is a part of their lives. They can be great role models, teaching us about responsibility, not to make all things taboo. It's perfectly fine if a character in a book chooses not to have sex, or simply doesn't, or they, you know, it's a relationship where they don't have sex yet. But it's a whole other thing entirely where you are trying to shove your beliefs down my throat and telling me if it's right or if it's wrong. I choose with my life what's right and what's wrong, what's best for me. Your sex life does not define you. So stop banning YA books to talk about sex. What should be banned? It's books that deal with slut shaming? Because that's just degrading women? Or books that are like this one, oh, not banned, but they shouldn't be in the YA section. They should be in the religious section, because it pisses me off when I pick up a book and I get a freaking church lesson that I did not ask for. So no to trying to shove your beliefs down other people's throats. No for trying to make other people bad about themselves for the choices they make on their own bodies. No to slut shaming. And yes to smart, responsible decisions, to getting informed, to learning as much as you can, and to being open about many things. Not just sex, I'm talking about homosexuality, being open to other cultures, just let's all be open-minded and be friends. And I just want to clear up, just make it very, very clear that I am not hating on anybody or on anyone's belief or whatever. What I'm trying to do is send a message of respect to everyone, everyone's choices and whatnot, and respecting all types of books. So there's no need to get all hateful in the comments, but you know, haters gonna hate, potatoes gonna potato. I say yes to sex positivity, and yes, I will see you guys in the next video, because that's it for today. I will also be making a discussion video about all the stereotypes that are in YA books and all the pressure they can apply on us, but that's for the next video. Yeah, I already said that one. Those are my thoughts. Feel free to share yours in the comments, and I'm out. Bye!